Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I prepared these delicious sour cream chicken enchiladas that are out of this world. Let me show you how to make them. To get started, we're going to boil the chicken in 2.5 liters of water with salt, a fourth of an onion, 3 garlic cloves, a handful of cilantro, 2 stalks of celery, and a few carrot sticks. All these ingredients are going to give us a nice flavor for broth. We will be using some of the chicken broth to prepare the sauce for the recipe. The remainder of the broth we're going to reserve to use with other recipes. Add in the chicken thighs and boil these ingredients for 25 to 30 minutes over medium heat. Remove the chicken from the pot and allow it to cool down before shredding. I also removed 1.5 cups of the chicken broth so it can cool down for the preparation of the sauce. To prepare the sauce, I'm also going to roast and dice 1 poblano pepper. You can also use 1 small can of canned chilies, but adding the roasted poblano pepper adds so much more flavor to the sauce. In a small pan, I'm going to heat up a small amount of cooking oil, and I'm going to saute half an onion, 2 garlic cloves, and 2 serrano peppers cut in half. Saute for about a minute over medium heat or until the onion is lightly caramelized. Then transfer all the ingredients to the blender, along with the chicken broth, and 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon or salt to your liking. Blend for a few seconds and set aside. In a medium saucepan, melt 1 tablespoon of butter over low heat, add in the diced poblano peppers and saute for about a minute. Mix in 1 tablespoon of flour until it's well broken down. Then add in the sauce from the blender and 1 15-ounce jar of your favorite Mexican sour cream. Mexican sour cream has a higher fat content, which makes it less likely to curdle when making hot dishes, and it also adds a lot more flavor to your dishes because it's a lot tastier than regular sour cream. I also added half a cup of chicken broth to the jar to get the remainder of the sour cream that was stuck inside of the jar. Simmer over medium heat until it reaches a light simmer or a light thickness. Once the chicken has completely cooled down or is cool enough to handle, shred the chicken, taste it, and if it needs more seasoning, you can season with any seasonings of your choice. I'm going to season with a little bit of salt and pepper. Break down the chicken with your hands or with a hand mixer. Once the chicken is well broken down, mix in 1.5 cups of your favorite melting cheese. I'm using pepper jack cheese for the filling and for the topping of the enchiladas, but you can use any other cheese of your choice. Before we begin to roll up the enchiladas, I'm going to pour a few spoonfuls of the sauce to the bottom of the baking dish. To prepare the enchiladas, you can use corn or flour tortillas. Today I'm going to do a combination of both. We're going to start with the flour tortillas first. When using flour tortillas, depending on the brand, there's no need to warm them up before rolling them. These particular ones were nice and pliable, so there was no need to warm them up before I started rolling them. Or you can prepare your own flour tortillas by using my buttery flour tortilla recipe. I will leave the link to that recipe in the description of this video. Place them in the baking dish with the flap down so they don't come apart. Once your baking dish is full, pour more of the sauce to cover the enchiladas. Next, I'm going to add a layer of cheese. Once you add your layer of cheese, you can place it in the oven to melt the cheese. Or you can also add more toppings before placing it in the oven. In my case, I'm going to use a little bit of chopped green onions. These are completely optional. You can leave them out completely, or you can add more toppings of your choice. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to place it in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes, or until the cheese is nice and melted. If using corn tortillas to prepare your enchiladas, these do need to be heated up before you begin to roll the enchiladas. You can heat them up on a comal, but when making recipes and I have to heat up a large amount at one time, I place them between a clean paper towel and microwaving them for 45 seconds to a minute or until they're nice and pliable. Right after removing them from the microwave, make sure to separate each one of the tortillas so they don't stick together. Then roll them up with the chicken just as we did the flour tortillas. Depending on where you live, sometimes it is hard to find tortillas that don't fall apart when making enchiladas. A little tip: when you're using those type of tortillas, fry them in a little bit of oil before rolling your enchiladas. This will keep your tortillas from falling apart once you add the sauce. For the enchiladas that I prepared with the corn tortillas, for toppings I used green onions and a few slices of fried serrano peppers to add a little bit of heat to the dish. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, the taste test. I tried one of the corn and one of the flour to see which one tastes better. And to me personally, the one that tasted the best was the one that I prepared with the corn tortilla. Prepare this recipe for your family using corn and flour tortillas and let me know which ones they like best. Serve with your favorite sides, a salad, and you have a complete meal. And now for the taste test. I'm tasting the ones that I prepared with the flour tortilla. These are delicious. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to join us in our next video where we will be sharing another delicious recipe.